This New York Knicks downfall is absolutely insane. It was reported that Knicks Jalen Brunson expected out through March and early April. Now, this is a little bit longer than they thought after that injury in LA. They thought it'd be a couple weeks, but now they're kind of extending it to possibly a month. That's kind of concerning considering he's literally your best player. And then it was reported that Mikal Bridges and Tom Thibodeau also had a fallout during a team meeting. This team is absolutely going through the works right now. Now, this is also a problem. You don't want to be having Josh Hart with 0-7-7 yelling at your head coach. Look at this. This is not some sort of championship, sign right here that the New York Knicks are having when Josh Hart, who's actually a really important piece of the New York Knicks, is having a huge argument with his coach. Now, the timeout is probably like, you could see the coach is saying, what is going on? But Thibodeau is losing the locker room. And I've said in multiple previous videos saying that Thibodeau has to go because he's overplaying his team. Look at these minutes. Sorry about this ad. But look at these minutes. You've got Anunoby, 38 minutes. Bridges, 38 minutes. The only reason Towns didn't play 30 minutes is because he's coming off an injury and he was going at it with Draymond Green. 37 for McBride. Josh Hart, 38. 38 minutes with 0 points is kind of outrageous, though. But, you only got one guy, Shamet, with 20 minutes. And over here with the Warriors, you basically got three guys with Post, Payton, and Kuminga. And that's why the Warriors ended up winning this game due to their depth. Now, I understand the Knicks do have Jalen Brunson out, but at the end of the day, you still got to be able to manage these minutes and be able to trust, your bench. But, it's getting sad when Jalen Brunson extended longer on injury, Mikal Bridges fallout, Karl Anthony Towns getting absolutely outplayed by Draymond Green and letting Draymond get a clutch bucket on you. This ain't 2016, buddy. Draymond Green is not what he is offensively than he was, 4 or 5 years ago, okay? Or 6, 7 years ago, okay? And Draymond Green came out and outplayed Karl Anthony Towns. He called him soft. Tell him sit on the bench. Hit a night-night after hitting a clutch bucket. You're getting outplayed by Draymond past his championship era. This is outrageous because Karl Anthony Towns is in his prime. So, the Knicks are lucky that, the Bucks aren't really that great. But if they keep having this fallout, keep losing, the Knicks could possibly lose that number 3 seed because they're closer to losing the number 3 seed than they are to getting that number 2 seed. Because who's more likely to go, Boston to go on a losing streak or the Knicks to go on a winning streak now that Jalen Brunson's out? Now, if the Milwaukee Bucks could get their stuff together and go on a little win streak, I could definitely see them possibly, contesting for that number 3 seed to avoid playing the Cavs in, the second round. And some people might say, I'd rather play Boston. But to be honest, I think the Bucks match well better against the Boston Celtics considering, the Cleveland Cavaliers have 2 centers in Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. So they would have more facilities to be able to take care of Giannis. Now, the Boston Celtics, believe it or not, only have Porzingis really, unless you want to count Cornette. But I believe Giannis would rather go up against the, Celtics paint defense than the Cleveland Cavaliers paint defense. So they're probably going to try to fight and get that 3rd seed. And if the Knicks end up hitting the 4th seed, they're going to have a problem with either the Pacers or the Detroit Pistons because at the moment, I feel like those 2 teams can beat the Knicks in a 7-game series. So the New York Knicks need to get it together because at the moment, they are falling apart. They have a championship roster. I can completely agree with that statement because Karl Anthony Towns is a great offensive center. You've got Jalen Brunson, a great player. You got Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, great wings, But the problem is the New York Knicks rely too much on their offense or on their starting lineup and give them way too many minutes and causes injuries. Karl Anthony Towns coming back from an injury. Jalen Brunson barely gets injured, You're going to these overtime games, playing them 40, 50 minutes, and then they end up getting hurt, and now you're going, shorthanded against the Warriors who are hot, the Lakers, and you're losing these games because you have so many injuries due to your head coach's, substitutions and rotations. These are outrageous in Big 2025. This is why the Cleveland Cavaliers here are the number 1 seed because if you look, they're averaging, 5, 6 less minutes, their starters, less than the New York Knicks starters. That's why the Cleveland Cavaliers are the number 1 seed and the Boston is the number 2 seed, because they have a deep deep roster, and they're able to trust their bench guys. They got 2 guys in the 6th man of the year, and Peyton Pritchard and Ty Jerome. Also, DeAndre Hunter's there. They both have a bunch of shooters coming off the bench that make an impact. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks just rely on their starting lineup, and then when they get hurt, they have these problems. They start losing games, So, for the New York Knicks to come out and actually win a championship this year, it's not going to happen. I believe next year you got to go out and get a new head coach. The Cleveland Cavaliers did it. The Boston Celtics did it. The Celtics went from Ime Udoka, they get rid of him, bring in a new guy, win a championship. The Cleveland Cavaliers get rid of JB Bickerstaff. They get Kenny Atkinson. Now they're the number 1 seed, looking like the number 1 NBA team. So the New York Knicks already got the roster, like the Cavs and Boston already had. Maybe they need an addition or two, but nothing major with their stars. But they're going to have to get rid of their head coach and bring in a new guy who's going to be able to properly manage these, rotations. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about the New York Knicks? Do you think they have to get a new head coach, or is it fine the way it is?